Hello, my name is Clara Kalindi de Luz. Thank you for coming to watch my video. I know it's been a long time since I have made one on this channel, so I appreciate you coming back. And if any of you are new, thank you for joining. I haven't filmed for this channel for about half a year, which is interesting because I literally stopped filming when the swimming season began for me in late April, and I restarted filming a week after my last swim at the beginning of October. So I'm sorry, I was really busy swimming. I couldn't film any videos. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I did swim a lot. I think I swam more than any other year, and it was so healing. I actually think I should do a video about the healing powers of swimming in the ocean. But anyways, that's not why I haven't been filming. I've had a lot of things going on. The first, like May to July, I started a new position. Actually, at the time was 2 positions at my university here, with a very exciting project where we are designing a new PhD program that is transdisciplinary and collaborative and addresses the climate emergency. And then the model will be used to also address other issues in the future. So I got hired on as the project manager, and for 3 months also as a researcher. So that kept me very busy. I didn't really film anything during those 3 months. And then in August, I really dedicated myself to building up my main YouTube channel, which is called Sound Journeys. I hope that you check it out. On this channel, I share my passion, which is sound healing. And mainly 2 types of videos. One are the sound healing meditations with all my singing bowls and my drums, and the other type of video that I started doing in August are ASMR videos. So if you're into either of those, please check out my channel. I'll post a link below. Yeah, the ASMR was something that my friend is really into, and I decided to give it a try, and actually there was a lot of interest, and I was taping almost daily videos in August. The tide is coming in. So it's really building up my channel. But I also want to keep doing the sound healing meditations, which aren't as popular for some reason. I don't know, I think YouTube algorithm doesn't quite promote them the same for me. So, but I'm still going to do them. So, yeah, and I have been writing on and off my dissertation about my healing journey. It's been challenging because, well, for 2 reasons. One is it's hard to write about those deep wounds, and the other is that I'm still in the process of healing, and although it's interesting to document it as it happens, which is kind of the point, somehow it's also a bit difficult without the kind of perspective from afar. So, but it's getting there. I feel like I did continue to do a lot of healing during these 6 months. Especially interestingly and very helpfully for my dissertation and for me, I started actually doing healing of the intergenerational trauma, specifically healing my parents and grandparents and ancestors. And I'll do a video about this down the road, but main thing I want to say is one has to be in a certain place with one's healing before that even comes up, because you need to be strong enough to address that. And it just naturally comes up. If you're doing the work, it'll come. So it started with some healing I had to do for my dad and his dad, and actually in the end it was a ceremony I did, and even though it was mainly for those two, there were actually 7 generations that came, spirits that came to this, that I sensed anyway, to this ceremony, which I did at the beach. It was a drumming ceremony to clear the trauma and to cleanse that. You know, there was a pattern of abuse on my dad's side of the family, very severe abuse, and so I had to cleanse that. And I did that at a beach very close to here. I hope the waves aren't too loud. We'll just keep going. Yeah, and after I did the drumming and well, it was actually by a fire as well. The fire was important to burn up all that negative energy. And then I went into the water and I helped cleanse their spirits in the water, in the salt water. So that was very interesting. And I also had my friend, who's a medium, come a few days after that, and I was communicating with a lot of my ancestors, and my dad especially. It was very interesting. And a little while later, I had to heal some things on my mother's side to do with toxic relationships with men and sexual abuse and that, which was, again, I did with the ocean. So that was the intergenerational piece, and since then I've still been working on my own things, and sometimes it involves my parents also. Yeah, so most recently there was a big shift when I as a child I felt responsible, or I think I somehow sensed that I had healing abilities, and I wanted to help my dad, who was depressed. But I was only 7 years old at the time, obviously couldn't help him, but I kind of took on this negative energy and this especially sense of responsibility for other people's well-being, and taking on their negative energy and kind of feeling responsible that it was partly my fault that he passed, that I couldn't help him. And this was in my subconscious, but I realized it through my work with Richard, my therapist. And yeah, so then I worked on letting that go, because it was really bringing me down. It wouldn't let me stay in a good place, and it wouldn't let me be an effective healer, actually, because an effective healer does not take on their clients' negative emotions or issues. So since then, I've been doing much more healing work with clients, which is so great, and I'm much more confident because I'm able to access guidance in a way that I hadn't been able to before. So I'm actually going to talk about this on my other channel, but I will link that video here if you want to know more about the things I learned from well, the new methods I learned for working with clients, with my bowls and my drums and everything. Let's see, what else did I want to say? Yeah, one more thing that I'm working on that I will make a video about. It's currently working on is really reclaiming my power. So when somebody has had trauma, especially if it was long-term trauma, you lose a lot of your power. So there are instances where you lose your power, and then if you're quite traumatized, there are instances where you give your power away, but both can be problematic. So recently I went into grief over losing my power and giving up my power. So what I started doing is drumming. I mean, I always drum, but specifically drumming, because drumming for me is very powerful. Actually, there's a story about this drum that when I was going to buy this drum 3 years ago, there was another drum I was playing, and that drum felt like it was kind of in sync with my energy, and I was going to buy that drum. But this drum felt much more powerful, and I even said to the person, you know, this is the kind of, how did I say it? Like, the person who drums this drum is the kind of person I want to be, but I'm not her yet. And she said, well, then you need to buy this drum and become her. And it's so true. I'm so happy that I got this drum. This drum is incredible, and it makes me feel very powerful. So I had the guidance intuitively that I have to drum every night in the forest. I do go into the forest at night. It's very powerful to be there for a week. And this will help take back some of the power that I lost. And I'm also going to write out all the instances I can remember of losing my power, which is going to be a very long list. But I have to heal each of them. And I think that's going to make a big shift in my life as well. So when I finish that healing process, I will record a video about it. So thank you so much for joining me and listening to my update. And I do hope to record more often on here, and I do hope you join me on my Sound Journeys channel as well. And if you're interested in doing work with me, I do transformational coaching and sound healing together in a very unique way. If you're interested in that, watch my video that I will link below, where I will explain exactly how I do that, and how you can contact me if you want to have a call and see if it would be a good fit to work together. Okay, thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye.